Now, I'm not telling you to be vain or to have an entitled mindset or anything like that. But what I am saying is that you need to have the mindset of they'd be lucky to be with you and work with you, or work with you in whatever way that they could, because you're somebody that is trustworthy, you're somebody that is capable, you're somebody that is competent, you're somebody that is not going to just give up on people at the first sign of struggle or the first sign of anything that could be a problem. You're willing to work through things. And sometimes, for some reason, when you're somebody that's willing to work through things, it's like people see this as a weakness sometimes. They're like, oh, we can probably play this guy. It's like, no, or this girl, we can probably play this girl. It's like, no, no, actually you can't. Because if you don't play the game that they're trying to make you play, then you're not going to be able to be played with. And so you've got to know what game they're trying to play with you and what game that they're trying to play overall. And if you know that, well, then you get exactly what you really deserve, which is respect and your integrity intact and everything all together. There are so many people in this world that are willing to step on other people to make themselves feel like they're more. And it's like, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, fella or lady, but you don't need to make other people feel small for you to be feeling confident and whole and proficient enough to be who you are and to be what you are, to be yourself. And it's like these people think that whether it's in relationships or business or whatever, it's like they think that they have to make you feel a certain way about yourself in order for them to make themselves feel like there's something. And it's so unbelievable because it doesn't need to be that way. And before I go any further, I just want to say this partly cloudy forecast is so pretty and it's so nice outside. It's not hot, but it's not necessarily cold either. We're entering fall season here in northern Utah where I'm at. But anyways, it's like you don't need to put on a show. They have to put on a show. They think that you have to put on a show in order for you to get anywhere in life. But you know that as a godly person, as somebody that has outstanding ethical qualities, let me tell you something that you might have not heard before either. And this is actually to the godly people. Your moral goodness is magnificent, because that is something that is so rare nowadays. It is so rare to trust somebody nowadays. It is so rare to actually have this semblance of understanding of one another. And it's weird because even though I can create a connection with almost anybody, I cannot relate to a lot of people. Now, what exactly is the difference between the two? What do I mean? Well, what I mean to say is that if I'm trying to make a connection, I can make certain points and certain things that we do or that we have in common. But in order to be able to relate, I have to be able to share certain kinds of experiences. I have to be able to share a certain level and degree of quality experience that I can actually relate to. And I cannot relate to a lot of people out here. I just can't. You know, and I'm now at the point to where, especially with jobs and especially with careers, it's like, screw the money. Just I'm done with it. I'm so over it. I don't even know what a lot of people are really even working for anymore. Like, why bother even working for these people anymore? They want you to, and I'm not saying that there aren't good people out there to work with and work for, but like employers, but it's like the people that are capable and that are competent and that are confident, we're no longer like, we're not lazy. We're not just doing the bare minimum to just do the bare minimum. It's that we are punished for going above and beyond. We are punished for trying to be there for other people. We're punished for trying to do something extra. And we're punished by being rewarded with more work to do. Meanwhile, Shirley over there can get ahead just by seducing the boss. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen that happen in the world. And the men that are willing to allow the women to move up based off of that kind of behavior, I have as much distaste and lack of respect for those people as much as anybody else that acts that way. What I do have respect for and what I do have an understanding for are people that are actually willing to put in the work, that show effort, and that are actually doing what they say they're going to do, because that's the easiest way that you're going to be able to tell if somebody's actually who they say they are. It's the easiest way. A lot of people, when they get around me, even though I'm 5'6", I have a strong presence, and it's only because I am present. It's not like I'm trying to force my way to be dominant or anything like that. It's just that I am here, I am present, I'm in myself, I'm in my own energy, I know who I am, I know what I'm about, and I know where I'm going. And I'm proud of where I came from, but not in a prideful way. It's like people can get a little bit nervous around somebody like that because you reveal to them what they're lacking in themselves. They're lacking that self-sufficiency. They're lacking that self-love. When I first started to realize that I was lovable, like that was a weird thing to tell myself in my early 20s. Like it was probably when I was 23, 24 when I really began to realize, and I'm 28 now, when I really began to realize, wow, I'm lovable. Like I actually am lovable. And I don't need anybody else to really tell me that. Of course, it's great and it's nice and it's fantastic, but I cannot even, like, I don't need that from anybody else because I know how to give it to myself. And it's not to say that I don't want it from other people, but I don't need it. I don't need that validation anymore. I don't need that. I don't need to be in a relationship to feel like I'm lovable. I don't need to be the hardest worker at my career or job in order to know that I am a strong person that is capable of doing more, because I'm doing more apart from my job. I have a side business. I have a YouTube channel. I've got other projects I'm working on. I'm not lazy. I'm not just working just to work. I always tell people, mind the business that you're being paid for when you go to your job or you're going to your career, because these people can fire you and let you go at the blink of an eye, even though they always say that it's unprofessional for you to quit on the spot or anything like that. You've got to give your 2 weeks, right? And this is something that we've talked about in the Regal Change Academy over the past week at our group call. We talked a little bit about this. And if you want to learn more about the Regal Change Academy and what we've got going on in there, check out the description and the link below. But there's a lot of good resources there, and there also is a free Discord that you can join. But we've got some more courses coming, and these courses are not just like they're not just, oh, here's a course. No, these are courses that are actually going to give you the foundation to give you a stance and to give you something to ground yourself with. okay? So if you want to learn more about that, there you go. Because there's so many people out here like, oh, I've got a course. Oh, I've got an ebook. Oh, I've got this, I've got that. But they don't offer something that you don't already know. They're not offering even companionship. That's one of the coolest things that I've seen about this channel in general, is it's been able to grow into a community of companionship for the people that feel just so isolated in the world. They no longer feel isolated, and they don't need to feel that way. They don't need, you never really need to feel isolated. And a lot of people want more support groups and everything like that. Look, I understand that even though I have an academy, I'm here to tell you that you don't need a support group, okay? What you need is to be bold and to take action. Do you know how invigorating it is to live in the spirit and truth? Do you know how fulfilling it is to live in spirit and truth? It's electrifying. It literally feels like I'm riding on lightning and thunder 24/7. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm exhausted after I'm gone for a few hours at the gym and the sauna and whatever, playing sports, working out, running, playing basketball, and I'm a little bit tired afterward and I need to get a meal in. I get my meal in and I'm able to chill for like 5 minutes before I get back to my projects and work and everything. Even then, when I'm trying to just actively recover, I feel so much strength and vigor. I'm a highly virile man, and it's all due to Jesus Christ. It's all glory to God, because without Jesus, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And this is why they'd be lucky to be with you. It's because God chose you. And I don't say that because I want to increase your narcissism or be vain or anything like that, right? I don't say it just that, because if you're actually chosen, you actually have a purpose, you 100% know it. You 100% know it. There's no doubt in your mind. There's no doubt in my heart and my mind and my soul that I'm meant for something more. And sometimes it can be really frustrating, because it feels like in the past, it was very frustrating because I was like, I know where I can be. I know I can be among the top 5% of people in the world. I know it. I don't have to question that. It's something that I just know in my bones. And yet I was frustrated because it felt like I kept having these obstacles and setbacks. It felt like I was cursed. It genuinely did, not only in my relationships, but with my finances. It felt like I was genuinely cursed. But I no longer feel that anymore. And the way that I broke those curses was through vision techniques. I actively imagined myself doing what it is I believe I'm meant to be doing, and then start reshaping and reorienting my life to ensure that the likelihood of that happening is going to be ever increasing through time. And yeah, there's still obstacles to this day, but that doesn't mean that I'm not getting there. I'm not getting closer to that, because I am. I know it. And thank God for it. So if you're in a relationship right now and you don't feel like you're being respected or appreciated the way that you need to, obviously I'm not going to say to just, break it off, because I think you ought to try to work everything out as much as you can. But if it gets to a point to where it just isn't working, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you also have to keep in mind, are you trying to neglect responsibility and neglect the hard conversations, and you're trying to give yourself a way out? Or is it actually not working? Because sometimes people that I've talked to in consultations, it's like they know they need to have these conversations sometimes, and they're like, oh, well, it's just going to be too much work to do. It's like, well, but if you do the work, what do you think will happen? Well, it will probably work out. What the hell are you afraid of, man? You are afraid of the work. You are afraid of doing what you need to be doing. And what I call that is cowardice. I don't know about you guys, but that I call that cowardice. And you don't need to like, commit yourself to that kind of lifestyle. Okay, relationships are work, and they are fulfilling. Like, maintaining a healthy relationship is so amazing. I have more of a brotherhood now than I ever have in my life. I have more, like, in my inner circle, the people in my inner circle know who they are, and they know that, like, things will happen. Like, if things happen down the line, they're going to be there and I'm going to be there. And that's a cool feeling to have, to know that there's people like that you can actually trust, that you can actually maintain a healthy brothership with. And likewise with women. There's women that I'm not necessarily romantically talking to, but we're cool. We're not friends, but we're cool. We're not trying to hang out with each other like that, but you know, we have an understanding that she's herself over there and I'm myself over here, and that's cool. We have this understanding. She does what she does, I do what I do, but we're not trying to like actively be in each other's lives, because she's got other stuff going on and I've got other stuff going on, but we're cool. And that's a good feeling too. Like, I know how to have relationships, but a lot of people don't want to do the work to have those relationships. And that's where, again, they'd be lucky to be with you or even work with you. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.